Friends, welcome back to another spoiler-free 3-minute thriller review. Now, the book we're going to talk about today is a book that I have been anticipating for months, and that is One by One by Ruth Ware. Now, I had very high expectations of this book, and I have to say, I was a bit disappointed. I liked the book. I think it was solid, but I didn't love it. And I ultimately ended up with 3 stars for this book. Now, before we talk about why and my thoughts on what I liked and what I didn't like about this book, first let's set the stage of what this book is even about. So it takes place in the French Alps in this posh luxury ski chalet lodge hotel. And it follows these coworkers from this super hot tech startup who are going on essentially like a corporate offsite kind of thing where they're all traveling together to this ski lodge. And before you know it, there's a huge snowstorm, there's all these avalanche warnings, and essentially they are trapped inside of this ski chalet. And one by one, things start happening to the people who are trapped inside this lodge. Now, this book is somewhat, at least, said to be inspired by And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie, and I can definitely see the resemblance. By the way, I do have a separate 3-minute thriller review for this book, so definitely check it out because a lot of my feelings of this book, I actually had very similar thoughts for One by One. Let's start with the positives, okay? I think this book has a very strong thriller component. If you like suspense, if you like impending danger and a feeling of you don't know who to trust, this book is for you. And I think what made it even more so was the fact that the setting itself was a dangerous character, if you will. One thing that I have noted I really like about Ruth Ware's writing is she tends to have the sense of place and the setting be kind of a character of itself, and I definitely found that to be true in this book. So you couldn't trust the people in the lodge, but you also couldn't really trust what was happening outside of the lodge either, because you had no idea when the next avalanche was gonna come and just kill them all. You know what I mean? That being said, there were several things that I just didn't really like about it. The first thing is there is kind of a data dump of characters all in literally the first chapter. The first chapter is just devoted to introducing like 10 different characters. And personally, I do not care for this type of book structure. I find that when it's structured like this, I spend a lot of time just like taking notes on the characters and trying to remember like who's who, and I find it kind of frustrating to have to memorize all of these characters at the very beginning. Personally, I prefer more of an organic introduction to characters where maybe we start with one character, we get to know another character a little bit later, another character a little bit later, and it's kind of layered on top of each other. The second thing is I think the mystery element of this book was kind of lacking. There were a few plot twists, a few twists and turns, but I was expecting more. To be honest, I don't think I was really surprised that much at all during this book, and maybe I just happened to guess what was coming, so I just wasn't that taken aback by it, but I thought that was missing. So because of that, I didn't love this book as much as I was hoping to, so I ended up giving it 3 stars. Now, if you like 3-minute thriller reviews like this, subscribe for more because I normally post a video like this every week or two, and that's it. Bye, guys.